Hello, everybody, and Ark here. We're going to be talking more on Undertale, and today is Sans God of Undertale. Let's look at the facts. Um, Characteristic of gods are beings of great and immense power who often don't interact or change the way the world is around them. They just kind of observe and make minute, tiny changes here and there, and only step in when complete and utter calamity is about to occur. No, we're not talking about. I'm not using the Romans or Greeks as examples. They're actually probably, as far as it goes, the black sheep of gods, as most gods tend to kind of keep out of the way and kind of act more as guidance than physical arbitrators of change. But yes, in most religions, gods tend to send down advice. They also tend to send down warnings. And they often perform miracles or feats of great and intense strength or ability that aren't available to the mortals of the realm. Just as well, they tend to be more informed and more often than not aware of things that most everyone isn't. Now, let's put this to the task of Sans. Sans is, as a character basis, is a very joking, laid back character, and it comes off as very uninterested in the world around him. He comes off as very just he wants to slack a bit, tell a few jokes, and that basically be the end of it. Um, he doesn't really interact with the world around him. Um, which is one trait. Um, he tends more or less to let Papyrus do that for him. Um, Papyrus is more like his liaison, the one through whom which the changes occur and the changes happen. Not a puppet per se, but more like someone he gives advice to and someone he gives motivation for. A lot of Papyrus's motivation comes from him wanting to aspire to be great things, but also being a very devoted brother. Um, Throughout the game, he gives you plenty of advice. If you take the pacifist route or the neutral route, he gives you tons of advice. He gives you plenty of hints and lets you know about a lot of things about the game that you wouldn't actually know about, and gives you a bit of backstory. Um, and then at the end, in the end, if you do the genocide route in the beginning, he will warn you. If you keep the route you're going, you're gonna have a bad time. And if you get to the end, he's like, well, you know what? This is it. He intervenes in a moment of complete and utter calamity where the entirety of the world around him is beginning to collapse and is finally starting to, on its last leg. He comes and he stops you because if on the basis that he is the god of Undertale, of the underworld, or the Undertale, the underground. I was gonna get it eventually. Underground. Then it's that he can't involve himself unless it's an extremely dire situation. He can't do anything until your last chance at redemption is gone. Which, if I'm not mistaken, if you kill everyone, the battle of Metaton or the battle before Metaton is the last one, because I don't know if you can spare Neo Metaton. I don't know. I don't think so. Hmm. But um, I've never done a genocide route. I've only done pacifist route, and I did a neutral route first, and then did pacifist route second. Um, so I never did a genesis route. I don't have a heart for it. I mean, I have too much of a heart for it. But not say those who run it are heartless. They just have much better control over theirs than I do. I don't. I literally sit there and start crying. But about that, that's another sign of Sans, being godlike. He has an intense, unimaginable amount of power that if he did have intervened in the beginning after you kill Papyrus, then you would have been dead. You would have been killed. There would have been no more. Which is something else that makes me think of that reason. There are a lot of other theories, and we're going to discuss them in a minute about what Sans could and could not be. But the reason why I personally believe this one to be one of the more believable ones is because of his complete and utter disappearance during um, the rest of the game after Papyrus's death. Papyrus is his brother, and you could say, he doesn't really care, but if you do the neutral ending, he'll literally call you out on it and call you a dirty brother killer. Um, Either way, you answer the question of, should, people be responsible for their actions. If you kill Papyrus, he'll be like, why did you kill my brother? Or you dirty brother killer? Or just in any various way of saying something that would imply that he's very upset about what you did. Which definitely begs the question, like, why wouldn't he intervene sooner? Why wouldn't he, as soon as Papyrus is killed, come down and take you out? Why does he leave you to Undyne? Why does he leave you to Muffet? Why does he leave you to Mettaton? Why does he let all these other entities try and deal with you first when it's obvious that if he intervened, he could possibly stop everything? And yes, it could be valuably argued that the reason is because of the fact that he is aware of the true reset. But he is aware that you can reset the world at any given point in time, and his efforts to stop you would be useless. But would it then make sense to put it? Then wouldn't it then make more sense to end it then and get the true reset to hopefully get you to change your mind and act in a different manner, or to discourage trying to destroy the entire underworld altogether by stopping you from even getting the taste? Because as it's said, Frisk gains more and more power, or Char gains more and more control over Frisk as you go on along in the genocide route. The more people you kill, the more control Char gets. So wouldn't it make more sense to stop that from happening? I mean, the only way it makes sense to me is that if Sans is the god of Undertale, he would put all these obstacles in front of him to give him not only a chance at redemption, but by the laws of gods, for some reason, to not directly intervene until there's absolutely no other option. It also brings to light the fact that he knows things that not a lot of people know. He's aware of it's clearly shown in his it's clearly shown that he's fully aware of the existence of the true resets and of the resets in general. Even when you do a neutral or pacifist, oh, I don't know if it's pacifist. I know I did it in the neutral. If you do it in the neutral, at least ending where you meet him and he judges you in the corridor, if you listen to what he says and then go back to that save point before he starts talking and go and do it again and again and again, at some point he'll be like, hey, you've heard this all before, right? All right, I want you to say this to me when you come back the next time, because it's something that I know no one else would say to me. So you do it and he'll give you a key. Now the key will initially take you into his room, where you won't really see much, but the key also holds open a room in the basement on the side of the house. Go into that and you'll see a photo of what everyone has assumed is a picture of Sans as the royal scientist, as everyone believes his job was. But I'll get into that one in a minute. But Sans as the Sans with people that you don't recognize or you don't know, and then it shows the time machine and handwriting that a lot of people assume to be the Wingding font. And I'll get to that in a minute. I'll get to that in the next video as well. Because we're not gonna have time in this video, because I want to make them all less than 10 minutes. But it's just a sense of that he knows more about what's going on than even you do. The one with the true power of reset, or even Flowey, who originally had the power of reset. But lastly, and the most damning evidence, is the fact that he kind of judges you in a way. He shows up before the end to judge you. like proof that he's been watching over you this entire time, or that he's capable of assessing your soul just by being around you. Either of those show intense amounts of power that no one else has. Yes, they can sense your murderous intent, but it's shown he can literally count the sins that you've committed. So, in effect, I think that Sans being the god of Undertale is probably one of the more believable outcomes. So, that's me on that theory. Leave in the description. I meant description. Leave in the comments what you think about that, and start a discussion, guys. Because I think that's something that could definitely be a thing. But we've definitely hit over the 10-minute mark by at least one more minute. So this is gonna be it for me. Arc